And we're on Jazz Street, day number 2 of the 2026 Rochester International Jazz Festival with Grammy Award-winning Stephen Feifke. Stephen, welcome back to Rochester.
Thanks, man.
So, Stephen, catch us up, because the last time we talked, you were being considered for the Grammy. Now you've won the Grammy. So talk about that whole process of getting nominated, hearing about it, being on the red carpet, winning the award. What was that like?
Oh, man, well, that was a couple of years ago at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I never really set out to win any sort of awards or anything like that. Bijan Watson is a great lead trumpet player, friend, mentor of mine, and he and I started this project, the Generation Gap Jazz Orchestra, together with the mission of basically uniting the generations of jazz. That was something that we feel is just really important. He being a member of the John Clayton, Jeff Hamilton Jazz Orchestra for as long as he has, as well as performing with Diana Krall and whomever else, Natalie Cole. I mean, the list is endless with that guy. For us, it was just a chance to work together, he and I, and then also to further that mission. So I guess winning the Grammy for that album, while it was never anything that we intended to do when we wrote the music for the album or when we released it or anything, it was great. Yeah, I don't know. It was an awesome feeling. So,
speaking with Stephen Feifke, because the last time I saw you, we actually caught up since all that happened. So I wanted to at least catch him and say, personally, congratulations on that.
Well, thanks a lot, man. Yeah, I really appreciate it. It's a highlight for sure.
So fast forward to 2 years later. So talk about some of the things you're working on now.
Well, basically, it's the same sort of thing as I was working on then. I don't know. That's just what we do. We make music, we play it, we write it, we record it. So we're here today playing with Alexa Tarantino Quartet at Kilburn Hall, where she's an alum, with Phil Norris on bass, Mark Whitfield Jr. on drums, and Alexa's on a couple of saxophones, and myself on piano. So that's exciting. It's music from a record that she just released on Blue Engine Records called The Roar and the Whisper. Mostly original music, maybe a couple of standards thrown into the set, but we'll have to wait and see. And as for myself, I'm actually about to release my 10th record on La Reserve Records, and the album is called The Same River, and it features, Alexa for one, as well as Sherman Irby, Blue Lou Marini, Alita Moses, Christian Wiggs. It's I'm super excited about this album. It's big band, and there's just a lot of other stuff in store too. So
Stephen, who inspired you to pick up the pen and start arranging for large ensembles?
My teacher, Susan Capestro, when I was a young kid, I wanted to quit playing music when I was, 8 or 9 years old. I was just kind of, into sports, and I still am into sports actually, but go Knicks, and it's a World Cup season right now, so it's definitely an exciting time in that regard. But Susan, instead of allowing me to kind of quit the instrument, and my mom too played a part in that too, Susan encouraged me to stay with it, and she is the first person who said, have you thought of composition? Have you thought of improvisation? And that was my first kind of foray into writing, was basically coming out of playing, Bartók and Bach and Debussy, who are all composers who I still love, and then figuring out how to kind of put my own voice to it. And I'll never forget my first composition lesson with Susan. She said, play me a waterfall. And I said, how do I do that? And she says, well, just take your fingers and run it down the piano. And so I did that. And then she said, well, what happens next? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, what happens when the water hits the ground? And so we made splashing sounds and all this stuff. And I basically learned how to compose from this imagery, this internal, just trying to communicate through music what we can also communicate with words and body language and whatever else. And so Susan Capestro really played a huge role. Without her, I don't know. Definitely it wouldn't be writing, so yeah.
Speaking with Stephen Feifke here on Jazz 90.1. Stephen, again, thank you so much for spending time with us, and congratulations on all the great success and more of it to come.
Thanks, Derrick. It's awesome to see you, man.